Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano, and thanks for watching. Today's mission is beef, Jamie.
Beef.
Did a beef video yesterday on grass-fed versus non-grass-fed beef. And today I want to talk about what real Kobe beef is versus what American quote-unquote Kobe beef is. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's almost the same thing. You hear this a lot, okay? First off, Kobe beef is a licensed trademark of the Kobe producers of Japan. It is from Kobe. That's the capital city of, I think you pronounce it Hagawa, is the region or the province, and Kobe is the actual capital of that region where the beef comes from. So to be real Japanese Kobe, you have to be from that region, Hagawa, okay? The cattle has to be born and raised there, has to be processed there. So it has to be processed in an official processing plant that handles those cattle. Now, Jamie, I think there's only like 2 processing plants that actually do that. Here's the interesting thing. When it comes to the life of the animals are basically, it's true, they're fed beer. They open up beer bottles and it almost looks like they force feed them beer, Jamie. Would you agree with that? That the animals really don't like
Do they like it is the question.
I don't think they're really sucking this beer down.
I wouldn't say they're force feeding it. I mean, or they're just giving it to them.
There's many videos online of showing this.
Okay.
And the animals just don't drink it freely like a bottle, okay? The reason why they're giving them beer is because it promotes eating. It makes them eat more. That's the reason why they're doing it. And with the I want to call them trainers, but the raisers, this is truly hand-raised beef. People who raise them will take a bottle of sake, get some of the sake in their mouth, and then spit it out on the cattle. That is to help with flea and ticks.
Really?
Now, these are all very traditional methods of raising beef. I'm sure that a lot of these are antiquated, but as a traditional thing, they're still being done because that's what they did 100 years ago, 200 years ago, however long ago. You know, you start with a tradition, you stick with a tradition. You know, if the tradition was to put a, flea spray on it 200 years ago, they'd be putting flea spray on it, right? But we didn't have flea spray 200 years ago, so that's what they knew how to do 200 years ago, was to coat the cattle with sake. And what was the best way to coat it? Get it in your mouth and spit it out and cover the cattle as much as you could with sake. Okay? Now the cattle are kept on leashes, they're tied to fences, they're tied to poles, they are out there on maybe minimal grass access, and then the animals are also kept inside as well. So the cattle can go up to 5 years old. They only produce a couple hundred a year cattle in Hagawa for Kobe beef. Now American Wagyu or American Kobe, a lot of people say, oh, I have American Kobe. And you see a lot of people out there saying, oh, there's not much of a difference and it's a much, much better price. Of course it's a much better price. We're talking $100, $200 a pound cheaper for American Kobe. Now, American Kobe does none of that, Jamie. We said Japanese has to have 100% lineage of Japanese cattle born in Kobe, Japan, and Hagawa. American Kobe, you have to have 51% of a Japanese lineage of Wagyu, of the Japanese cattle. The other 49%, the other 50%, whatever it is, can be Angus, and it typically is Angus. American Kobe producers don't feed their cattle beer. In one of my interviews, they noted that the actual people who make who raise the cattle probably drink beer, but not the cattle.
Right. That was funny.
They don't do sake for flea. Here's the one interesting thing about Kobe beef compared to American Kobe compared to other American beef. American Kobe has to be in a feedlot a minimum of 12 months. A lot of times, regular just conventional commodity beef goes into a feedlot for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. So yes, the cattle that's the one big difference between regular American beef and Wagyu, American raised Wagyu. They have to be in the feedlot for a minimum of 12 months. We're just going to pack more fat on them, increase more marbling, increase tenderness, increase, palatability, whatever the rationale is. So that's the one big difference of American Wagyu. Now, of course, still not being able to be compared to Japanese, because now this is really to debunk those people who are saying, oh, it's almost the same thing. No, it's not almost the same thing. They're 2 totally different things, totally different ways of raising. You would never put American Wagyu into a barn on a rope, feed them beer, give them sake like that, and let them live for up to 5 years. You just wouldn't do that. That's not part of how you would make it. That's why the beef is so expensive from Japan. For a long time, I really didn't know the difference, Jamie, because they don't really teach us chefs the difference. They teach us chefs how to market food a lot of times in culinary school. A lot of other chefs will teach us, oh, you got to put these fancy buzzwords in. So the word Kobe sounds like really, really cool. Now, I kind of knew a long time ago that we weren't really serving real Kobe beef, Jamie, when we were serving Australian Wagyu and American Wagyu. So I always put Kobe in parentheses because it's not the real thing, and I kind of knew that. So I would word on my menu Australian Kobe, quote unquote, burgers, beef, steak, whatever it was, American Kobe. As of several years ago, Jamie, I've refused to use the word Kobe in any of our, we don't have anything currently on the menu that would qualify as American Wagyu, but when I do serve American Wagyu, I refuse to use the word Kobe. I don't want them associated together. I don't want people to get confused, and people still do get confused when you throw out the word Wagyu or something. Currently we're using Akaushi beef, which is a breed of cattle, but not one of the breeds that goes into Kobe. It's from the southern part of Japan, and it's an outdoor cattle. You wouldn't put Akaushi cattle inside of a barn and hand raise it like that. It's a more sturdier, hardy cattle. So just wanted to say that, because if you find an old menu of mine online, like from 8 years ago, you might see the word Kobe in parentheses or something. Well, that was when I sort of knew what was going on, and I knew that I shouldn't be calling it Kobe, but I wanted to use Kobe to market it, and I don't do that anymore, so that's the reason for that. Of course, American Wagyu, you're not allowed to give antibiotics or hormones. That's forbidden if you want to be part of the American Wagyu program. You can't give any of that. But if you look at the two beefs side by side, if you taste them side by side, they're totally, totally different. I'm not saying American Wagyu isn't good. American Wagyu is very good. But you can't really say it's almost the same thing as Kobe. And you really can't use the terminology saying, well, we have Kobe beef. No, you don't have Kobe beef. You have American Wagyu. You have something that is in the Kobe style, perhaps, but nothing near what Kobe does because of the cost, the time, the beer, the sake, everything that goes along with it. So two totally different things. Hope I got that point clear. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and pass the video on. Thanks for watching.